Into a couple of different areas. Something I saw happening, which I was very surprised at, and it kind of ties into this idea of kind of global kind of, I feel, acceptance and appreciation for Afrobeats music in general becoming more and more prominent. I'm a massive Fortnite player, something I do on my day-to-day. They have radio stations in Fortnite, and one of the radio stations was playing Benson and Fiel's Finesse, which I was very, very surprised about, because I've never heard anything outside of like an electronic tune. I've heard a couple of drill tunes on there. I heard a Dre and Mac tune on there, but I've never heard anything in that kind of realm happen before. So I thought I'd open the kind of the floor to everyone with this. Is Afrobeats as a sound now at a point where we should start expecting things like this to be happening? When we're talking like major pop culture, or should we be expecting Afrobeats tunes to kind of penetrate pop culture a little bit more? Viv, we'll go to you on this.
Thing is, when we talk about pop culture, yeah, we're basically saying, has it hit the US market? Has it hit the UK market? Has it, that's the main one. So with America, I feel like they're still a bit behind in celebrating Afrobeats, but they're on their way. UK, definitely we're there, I think. I mean, there's still room for improvement, don't get me wrong, but as a whole, we do celebrate Afrobeats, I would say. Yeah, I mean, I think we could definitely see Afrobeats sort of tapping into places that we wouldn't expect, or we wouldn't have expected. Let me put it that way. But to be fair, saying that, a lot of the Afrobeat tunes nowadays are with global artists, and they've changed their sound a lot as well. So it just kind of depends on what is hot right now. And yeah, there's a lot of factors to play. Like I said, I kind of miss like the old traditional Afrobeats. You get what I mean? There's I say it all the time, but Essence is not an Afrobeat song in my mind. You can debate. Sure, someone will say it is, just because the artists are basically Afrobeat artists, but I don't feel like that tune is an Afrobeat song. So yeah, it just depends how you see it.
It is an interesting one.
I don't know if Feelings is that. I mean, Feelings probably is. I don't know. Again, I don't know. It's a difficult. Afrobeats is so broad. Do you get what I mean? So whether it's globally celebrated as a whole, no, I don't think so. In all of its fashion, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, we're seeing certain sounds, certain songs being celebrated, if that makes sense.
Well, it's an interesting one. You look at stuff like Love Nwantiti, obviously that's one of the biggest tunes on TikTok in general worldwide over the past couple of years. Again, I'm sort of thinking of like adverts, things like that, when we start seeing stuff on like general television adverts for like IKEA and stuff like that, just things you wouldn't expect. I feel, for instance, UK Grimes had that moment. Obviously, it's had stuff like D-Double on an IKEA advert. The majority of backing music for like overlays in Match of the Day and things like that, it's all grime instrumentals now. Where it never used to be. It all used to be sort of like big kind of like ballad, like pop ballads a lot of the time, the instrumental versions or the Inception theme tune. Like this is the sort of thing I mean. Girls, over to you on this one. Like, have you noticed any kind of shift in this? And this is sort of just like a day-to-day thing. Have you noticed more and more kind of, I suppose, a kind of general celebration and just hearing Afrobeats out more?
I think in the UK, obviously, because we're here, I'm hearing it more. Like, I'm starting to hear it more slowly, but I think with the collabs in US as well, I agree with what Viv is saying as well. It's more like laid back there, but it's starting to rise up. So, yeah.
Okay. Phoenix, we'll go to you. What about yourself? Obviously, you're coming to us as our brand new Gen Z reactor opinion on this. Obviously, we probably all have. I don't know. We're probably going to like different I suppose audiences a lot of the time in this kind of scenario. So how about yourself? Like, have you noticed any kind of shift?
Yeah, so I'm firstly put out. I did only start reacting to Afrobeats in January, so I'm kind of new to the genre. But my thing is, I do notice what Viv said. So the Love Nwantitis, the Perus, those type of songs that blew up on TikTok or had that global appeal, they're the ones that are going to end up on radio. Essence as well, that kind of blew up globally, but it's mainly because they're Nigerian artists. But the thing that's making it be on Fortnite and stuff is just because Finesse is it's not a jokey tune, but it's like it's a funny tune. You understand? It's like you get me for like it for the night and all that stuff. So it's kind of like the ones that have global appeal to everybody are the ones that will end up like you will never see like a cultural Afrobeat song on the Fortnite radio. If in my opinion, it's like the OG like sounds you guys are talking about. But I think just because now even like Ed Sheeran jumping on Peru, Chris Brown going on Mona Lisa, we'll probably see Mona Lisa on the radio again. But it's like um. I'll ask you, Cover, real quick. Do you think Afrobeat song like a Kilometer or like a OG song will make it onto radio? Like, truthfully, do you think it'd actually make it?
It depends. Well, it depends on the station first and foremost. If we're talking like mainstream Radio 1 level of radio, potentially yes. I think it could at some point because you've had, again, if you follow sort of things that have happened, you've had dubstep, you've had Katie on a Mission, which is at the time was what dubstep sounded like. That was a sound that I was very much into. You've had POW on Radio 1, which at the time is very much a grime sounding tune. You've had kind of even like garage tunes, for instance. So it depends on what people would class as like a traditional kind of sense. Maybe not like a 100% traditional in a way that you wouldn't expect it to be kind of seen outside a certain area. But then you wouldn't expect it to be seen outside a certain area. So why, to an extent, why would a radio station play it if the majority of people wouldn't have any interest in it? So I think I think seeing a Burna Boy Kilometer on Radio 1 isn't particularly outlandish. We heard anybody on Radio 1 that was playing on Radio 1 on repeat at one point. So like I definitely think it's something we will see. But again, I'm talking more sort of just. I suppose when I say kind of mainstream appeal, I'm more talking about again sort of advertising, like overlays in TV shows and montages and things like that. For instance, on the Olympics, are we going to have I don't know, the last instrumental playing in the background for an Olympics montage whilst they're going, this is what happened today on the 100 meters and stuff like that. That's the sort of thing I'm talking about. So again, Fortnite Radio ties into that stuff being played. I don't know, on the latest Disney Plus show, for instance, like just being played on the radio in the background, like stuff like that.
Definitely with that. Yeah, definitely with that. Sorry. Yeah, just real quick. I think the Afropop will make it. So songs like Booger as well will probably be on the like. I thought Booger's gonna be one of the World Cup songs, stuff like that. So yeah, Afropop for sure.
Like I said, unfortunately, I feel like it's just specific sounds. Like, that's just my opinion. I feel like if for example, like, I don't know, Timaya had like a huge song in Nigeria because of his sound and stuff, would it go global as some of the other ones would? I don't know. Do you get what I mean? Just because of the sound and the direction that other people, like people who don't listen to Afrobeats and who aren't in that scene at all, they will view Afrobeats as Essence, Peru, and tunes like that.
That's true.
100.
Interesting. It's an interesting one. Banks, we'll bring you on this because I know I'm pretty sure you'll have a direction on this that I'll find quite entertaining. So, Banks, what are you saying?
I feel like again, Afrobeats is continental. It's not global yet because if you go to some parts of South America, I don't think they're listening to even Peru. I mean, at some point, Peru, the country, thought the song was about them, but no, the song was actually talking about Peruzzi, the artist that David signed under Davido. Do you get me? And the tune itself is a freestyle. Do you know what I'm saying? So it goes to show that people jump on anything that's hot. Right now, American artists are actually reaching out to Afrobeats artists to sort of, ask for features or let's jump on this track, let's do this together, because that is what's really hot right now. Afrobeats is the thing now, so everyone is going to jump on it. It's bittersweet for me because it's slightly sad because it's what happened to dancehall in the early 2000s, in the early noughties, where you just see your baby just leaving the house slowly and you're like, oh no, and it's just gone. Do you know what I mean? It's just going to go. Afrobeats, we're not going to be sitting here in the next 10 years. Why? Because these guys would just, water it down and just make it sound like something random. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's at the same time, as much as it's good, it's like having a child grow up and leave the house and become an adult. Do you get it? You're going to enjoy it while the child is young. It might be annoying and just frustrating, but at some point it's going to grow old and just leave. So that's what I see Afrobeats doing soon, because now the Americans have jumped on it. I can hear some people saying, "Oh, did we give it the name? Are you high? What do you mean did we give it the name? What are you talking about?" Do you know what I mean? And for me, it's really personal because again, I don't own the genre, but I was there at the start. I'm first generation Afrobeats, and I'm actually first generation Afrobeats in the UK as well. So it's mad. Sometimes I'm happy when I see it happen, and sometimes I'm like, "Oh man, these guys are gonna write and tell the story like we were not there." Do you know what I mean? 5 of us now in 10 years, some random group are just gonna be talking about Afrobeats, and we're just gonna be like, I swear that didn't happen. Do you know what I mean? It's like, we're like, what's going on here? So, yeah, songs like, what's the name of the song again? Finesse. Of course, it would make. That was a big tune on social media. That's what's gonna happen. Anything big on social media would make its way into these places because that's what these people are looking at. These companies are looking at what do you call it? They're looking at the stats, they're looking at what's going on social media and just saying, you know what, let's use this. This will draw people in more. So I wasn't surprised when I heard Finesse's was on the thing, what's it called again? Fortnite radio. I was like, I expect it to be. And even Essence is, I get where Viv is coming from though. It doesn't sound Afrobeats, but I know it's Afrobeats. It's got the 5-beat pattern. When you listen to it properly, you can just hear the 5-beat pattern anyway. So it's just, but it's because Americans have jumped on it so much that they've just made Thames into this random R&B artist that you're thinking, I swear she's Afrobeats, but they just want to colonize everything. Do you get it? That's Americans. That's what they do. See, UK, we do everything with respect. We're like, oh yeah, this, that. Americans don't care. Once they grab you, you're gone, mate. You're off. Do you know what I'm saying? They just capture you and make you theirs. They did that to Sean Paul. So much so that Jamaicans don't even want to know him sometimes. I allow that sellout, man. You know what I mean? They did it to Shaggy. They did it to loads of artists. And they're going to do it to some people if they don't, you know what I mean, sort of solidify their own, their foundation so much so. Because Afro Streets I'm just glad because no one is going to do that with Afro Streets. I'm happy. They can have Afrobeats if they want to. That's fine. We're sticking, you know what I mean? Because they can't understand Yoruba. So that might not be really appealing to them. But yeah, so that's pretty much it.
It's interesting.
Sure?
Nah, Ashaki, Alaladumi Ashake.
Yeah,
he does Afro.
Yeah, you enjoyed that.
They can't do what he does, man. Trust me.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't gonna, like, the things he's saying, on my logo, listen for, like, as a Yoruba man, I'm listening, I was like, this is cold. But Chris Brown wouldn't understand what the heck he's saying. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it just doesn't. It's only the Davido, the Burna Boys, the Wizkid, because they're now global. And when I say global, I mean in terms of pop culture, I don't mean worldwide, because someone in the Amazon doesn't know what Wizkid is, obviously. So yeah.
It's interesting though. I always like kind of diving into the concept of, again, genres becoming global and becoming kind of I suppose not necessarily accepted, that's the wrong word, but being kind of understood to an extent around the world, and being kind of, you can hear that and go, that is that.
Sounding so good right now. But they're sounding a Brighton town. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel right now, Cub Cam TV. Stay locked.